Larry Fitzgerald.
Here.
Greg J.
Here.
Brandon Tankard.
Here.
Bryce Howell.
Here.
Scott Stierwald.
Here.
Any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda?
I have one item to add if I could.
Of course.
Bennington Way closeout document.
Where would you like to add that?
You can do the unending claims and transfers if you want. Or old business, new business, whichever.
We'll add it as items, yeah, we'll add it as 6, what is that, K? Anybody else? I would like to add a 5B, and we're just gonna label that as a moment of silence. And anybody have anything else? Not, looking for a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of regular meeting minutes for the month of April.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Greg?
In recognition of Pam's passing of the Main Street, we just want to recognize her as what she did for the community and all the accomplishments over the years of her serving the community. So we just want to kind of give her a little recognition and a moment of silence.
Thank you. Okay, claims and transfers.
From the general fund, $290,798.84.
Motion.
Thank you, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
From water, $52,070 and a penny.
Motion. Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
From wastewater, $55,795.81.
Motion. Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, $58,827.23.
Motion. Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Onto the invoices, Spear Corporation, invoice number 326,226 for the amount of $3,712.
Is there a motion, first of all, if there are no any questions, if there are no any questions, looking for a motion for that 3712 for Spear Corp, invoice 326226.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Water Solutions Unlimited, invoice number 123819. This is the amount of $4,083.06. This company, we're approved up to $4,000 to go ahead and pay this without council approval. And just this specific chemical, the cost has increased, and this is the second invoice where it's gone over that limit by about $83. So just, you can approve that, and then we can keep going the way it is, or if you want to raise the limit a little bit, whatever you would like to do.
And this is for the treatment plant, right? Water. The water treatment plant. Yeah, because we did this, what? The last invoice was like $80 over too, right?
So I think my initial response is if we, I mean, obviously the cost of everything continues to rise, but maybe to keep them honest, do we get an additional quote? Let me take a step back. Does council want to approve this invoice, but moving forward, maybe have a second option to keep this company honest and make sure that they're in line?
Is there another option there?
Instead of nickel and diming every time we get an invoice.
I'll motion to approve this one, but next go round, get a second quote.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
EMC Insurance, claim number 1785171, and this is for a deductible of $5,000.
Any questions, council?
This is the,
Motion.
Somebody want a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
The next is the Cloverdale Township trustee invoice. This is our regular contract with the fire department. They're just submitting the invoice for payment this year in the amount of $35,000, and that's the normal annual contracted fee.
motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And Jammer invoice number 759 in the amount of $6,765.90.
What was this for?
We had scheduled to shut down the school and the nursing home one day. We were going to replace 2 valves. And I talked to Brandon about this, so it was only originally going to be $3,000. We started the work at the same time so that we'd have both the school and the nursing home down in the shortest amount of time. And we took the back truck out to dump it, and it got stuck. So
No, that's when they had to pull it out.
yeah, so we went ahead and just made an executive decision to go ahead and just jammer, fix the other one so we could get the school and the nursing home back up as quickly as possible. It
Motion.
went a little awry.
Okay. Does somebody want to second that?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And then the additional one is in your packet. I believe this is a late arrival. This is the Bennington Way. We submitted the closeout documents for that, and that project came under budget by a small amount, and so obviously the state is asking for their portion back. So the invoiced amount will be that $8,008.91. So I'm just asking for permission to write the check to get that back to them when the final invoice comes.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have.
Thanks, Kelly. Adam?
It's been a busy month. We've sent 2 of our guys are currently at the academy. So we're needing ammunition. We've got an invoice in front of you. Prices are the same. We were asking for a little bit more this year than we normally do, just for the simple reason that we're gonna have 3 people at the academy. It takes about 1,000 rounds of an individual to get through the academy. So, and then we got qualifications for everybody else in the department, so that's why the volume's a little higher than normal.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's all I've got tonight.
I do want to bring up, since I missed the last council meeting, we had a very large event at the arena there last month, and the community, not only our community, but the roughly 10 to 15,000 people that were in attendance, was very appreciative and complimentary of our police department. So I think that speaks volumes of the job that Adam's doing. So I just want to go ahead and put that out there.
Thank you.
Okay. Jason?
Got several things on here, and actually Eric Smith is here tonight, and he could probably address these better than I can if you want him to.
We just need to comment on that. Or Jason, sure.
We lost.
I know. We still there.
But if Eric wants to,
I don't mind. I mean, it's up to Eric if he wants to talk that much.
Sure. I'll update on the major projects. If there's anything else that I'm missing that maybe I could address, let me know. Here's an update for each of those. On the water project, the ready funded US 231 North water supply improvements. Phase one, which was the area east of US 231, was done ahead of Eagle Club Road. All that work is complete on the water side. Phase two, the design is now complete. We have plans and specs complete and ready for bidding. We're still working through the NDOT permit process. And our project manager said we should have a permit from them approved within the next 30 days. Easement acquisition has started. We have 2 of 6, probably close on a third, and we've got a few others.
I think we may be down to 2.
Okay. Once we get those acquired, we can bid the project. So hopefully within the next month or 2, we should be in a position to bid the project. Stormwater drainage, we rebid that project, if you recall. We had a budget that was in the grant application. Once we got into design, we added some things. We also found some things where we had to put things that were going to be ditches. We had to move, make some on the storm sewers to avoid utility conflicts. So we added quite a bit of scope, and based on the original bids, we didn't have a bid that was within the city's budget. So we looked at rebidding and tried to develop a base bid scope that hit the town's priority areas as they were designed with the additional work, and then bid some of the other areas as kind of add-ons or add alternates. And we did get a couple bids that were very close. One was under the town's budget and did get all the priority areas covered, which is, and we ended up with 7 divisions. As you can see, Division 1 was the Stardust Hills Neighborhood and Market Street. Division 2 was the Market Block. Division 3 was the full depth patching on Stardust Way. And Division 4 was Water Street, Division 5 West Street. And then we broke Doe Creek Drive up into 2 pieces. A, which was the area to the south, the downstream portion, and then B was the area to the north. And then Stardust Road, which was not in the original grant application for Oak Road, but we wanted to get a price for it. The base bid or the priority was divisions 1, 2, 3, and 6A. And you can see the bid from All American Express was $745,000, which is below the construction budget of $750,000. We are working with the grant administrator to provide Okra with documentation that what we are reducing the scope is not substantial, and the community-wide benefit that was demonstrated in the grant application is still there. Basically, the areas we took out are still going to have service because they drain to areas that are still in the project. So we've demonstrated that with a map and with a narrative. So Jason, I don't know if you heard anything, but I think it's in Mike's hands to work with Okra. Assuming they okay that, we should be able to award that within the next 30 days and get construction started on that this summer. Then lastly, on the wastewater project, the contractor is continuing to do point repairs in town on sewers that were targeted for rehabilitation. The point repairs are done for areas on those sewers that, based on televising, indicate that offset joint or some part of that would not receive a liner. So they have to actually excavate those areas and do an actual physical repair of the pipe so that when they do pull the liner will pull through and adhere to the pipe. They've done all their televising and they have identified where these point repairs are. So they're continuing to get those completed. The sewer lining in Lieber Park is complete. DNR is looking to add some additional manholes with some of the extra funds on their portion of the project. The Hearst Avenue area, they are doing the sewer televising to determine lining needs or replacement in that project area. They've had to add a few manholes to provide better access so they can get cameras in. The directional drilling of the force main replacement in Stardust subdivision is complete, And they are now working on restoration and the air release valves. The clarifier roof and cover at the wastewater plant is complete. And other than that, the other equipment at the wastewater plant is on order and should be in later this summer. The force main from Lever up to lift station 6 is probably 3/4 of the way installed. So they're close to getting that connected. That's generally all the updates I have on those projects, so I'd be happy to answer any questions any of y'all might have. Or Jason, if I missed anything you had on your list.
I was by Beagle Club, coming off of, I think the parking lot at McDonald's was quite a bit of water, and it was running out into the road. Do you need to look at that, or?
Yeah, it catches, I was out there during the rain, and it's catching into that, it does come out in the roof, it catches in that drain on the north side,
Right,
which wasn't there before.
okay. So it just needs to have a better catch basin or something.
I mean, it looks to me like it's dumping onto Beagle Club, but it is going to where it's supposed to be going.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better solution for it or not, or if there needs to be a solution. It's definitely not standing there. If you remember how it used to stand there and freeze over, it's definitely not going to do that.
It's moving for sure.
It's going to where it's supposed to. It may not be ideal. There's a lot of water that comes off that McDonald's parking lot. I mean, it catches a
That
lot.
hill.
And it comes down through that riprap and,
We certainly have not closed the contractor out on Bennington Way, or on, I'm sorry, on Beagle Club
Beagle.
Road. So let's maybe watch it another rain event, maybe if you can take some pictures, maybe we can take a look at it, maybe there's something we can add. Because I think there is still money in that project if they needed to do something.
We just had a trailer broke down, and I went to help some lady change a tire, and there's water there for sure, but it is running to the ditch. It's not like it's pooling like it used to.
It was running over
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, it was,
Just couldn't get in the outlet fast enough.
I've got pictures, so I can get those to you.
Okay.
If we need to do something.
Yeah, why don't you send those to me, we'll take a look. If there's,
It's
if there's
definitely
a
doing what
fix,
it's
we can.
supposed to, maybe not.
It was an extremely hard rain.
Yeah.
Bryce, are you hearing anything from your visitors about those improvements?
yeah, good and bad. A, that it's cool we're doing it, B, that the, getting into the hotels and, all that, it's been, look, that's expected, I mean, it's construction, so.
Yeah.
But no, good that the town's doing it, for sure. The only thing I had was, and I don't know if this is him or you, but how we talked about, we were gonna put some riprap or something there, going up the hill to the arena there, where it's starting to wash out, On
Yeah,
the
that's,
north side of
that
the-
is one of the,
That's included.
Okay.
it is, do you know which number that is on there?
Isn't that Division 7?
It's 7, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not in the original project. When we kind of revised, we kind of threw that in there, so.
We've got a price to do it, if there's money for the town to do it, we can have the contractor do it. Otherwise, we can maybe even look at potentially the wastewater contractor, maybe doing that with some extra funds, something to consider.
Wanted something, especially that are going west of the arena where it's really washing out. I mean,
Yeah.
if the supplies were available, we can be that used to, as far as
We've only got really 3 things that I know of that we still need to do. There's a irrigation line at McDonald's that, and they're aware, the contractor is aware of it, that needs to be repaired. On where there's that retaining wall, the dirt is washing out there. They're supposed to come back in, grade that back out and put some matting down there. And then also when they paved over two valves on Beagle Club, and they're aware of that. They'll just come back out and dig those valves out so that we have access. It's for the new water line through
I
that.
thought we were gonna talk about or have them look at the cul-de-sac.
We're looking at that as well. He's talking about the very
The
north
drain
end.
at the
where
north
drain-
end.
The north end of Bennington.
Yeah, they're looking at that, as far as installing
Didn't we talk
a way to get the drainage around the road.
Is it washing out on the north end of that retaining wall?
No,
South end.
South end.
south end. It's just where it tapers down and there's nothing there, so
It's just become,
And it-
gravity's doing its thing.
It looks bad,
It does.
but they know they're supposed to be out here to take care of the house. And that's not closed out, we've already got the final invoice on the house. So we're-
And you still got retainage, so anything we need to hold.
They did get it lined and striped.
Right.
Yeah,
it looks good. It's there today.
it does, looks really good. All right, anybody have anything else for Eric?
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Jason, anything else? Nate?
No, I mean, other than, we're gonna talk about the sign inventory, but that's,
Okay.
that's kind of involved you guys.
If you need me to stay for that, I can.
I don't think so,
Okay.
not unless you want to.
All right.
See ya.
All right.
Let's look up those projects. If you have any questions, feel free to ask questions or email me, whatever. We do have a lot of things going on, as you heard, so. So the next item we have on here was dump truck. I think I emailed all of you about the dump truck. We've got an issue with it, and the repair quote is in your packet. It has been at the repair place for, I don't know, 3 weeks now, probably. They're wanting to know what we want to do with it. I did get a quote. Larry, may have been you asked me to get a quote for a new one. I did get a quote for a new truck, comparable truck. So you have both a new truck quote and a repair quote in your documents. It is a piece of equipment that we do use, and it's also used with snowplow, but obviously that's not a factor right now. But when we do a dig and need to haul dirt or haul stone in, it is a needed piece of equipment. So we just need to decide whether we're going to repair or if we're going to replace.
So my opinion is, we're at 81 and 70 on a new one. If you delete that thing and fix it right, it's bulletproof. And the truck, to my opinion, is in pretty good shape, right?
Yeah, it's not got many miles on
Yeah.
it, so.
I would say we repair the one we have now.
Do we have any depreciation funds for that truck? How much do we have, you know, off the top of your head?
It would, I'm guessing this is probably gonna be split between water, wastewater, and potentially general or MDH. So, water depreciation, it probably has 200,000 or 300,000 in it. Most of that's spoken for the project still, but it shouldn't be an issue. The regular operating has like 200,000 in it, so we could always do some of that if we're doing repair, because that's not that much. Sewer depreciation has maybe, I don't know, 40 or 80,000, I'm not sure. We're kind of building that back up. That's taking a big hit. And then, general MDH, we could beat that out.
If you delete that truck, I think you're gonna be spending over $20,000 on it. I don't see replacing, I see replacing the truck with it. It's 17 years old,
I agree.
and it's got a lot of hours on it, it's
Well, it's-
website time.
The biggest thing is the truck right now, what it's gonna cost to fix it is more than what it's worth. I get that,
Yeah.
but I didn't know we had funds available.
We did see comparable trucks selling in the marketplace and such for about 15 or 17,000. So I think a functioning truck, I think, is more valuable than a non-functioning.
Correct, right.
Not a huge difference. I mean, 12,000 to spend at a $15,000 truck. But I don't think we're negative by repair, I should say.
The only thing, if there's funds available where the town can move it, absolutely, it's gonna cost money to fix it, but you're gonna have to fix it right to make it worth what it's worth. I would be very, very much in because I know the quotes are gas and diesel. My personal opinion is diesel completely, and I obviously, my dad's dealership is the one that gave this quote, so I have to recuse myself in this vote, but, at the end of the day, a diesel's gonna be worth 20 grand more than the gas, so.
You have any thoughts on this?
I didn't know there was funds available, so.
If we have the funds, I'm in favor of a replacement. Only and condition of the truck, and, you know, if we get another 17 or 20 years out of the new truck, I think we'll be okay.
I'm also, I just wanna go on and say, like I said, my dad's dealership gave this quote. I'd like to get Andy Moore or someone like that to give a quote to, just to be completely fair.
I would say we definitely need to go with the diesel because, you know, if it's around town and working and idling and being a gas job, you know, it's harder and harder on it. So I definitely would go with the diesel, and I would definitely go with the new truck.
So just so you know about funds, so those numbers I said, like it's the water, most of it is going to the water project. That's gonna take that sewer depreciation down almost, you know, to nothing again, so we're gonna build them back up. So just so you know, that's gonna take a big hit to those. There's gonna be
So if
not
we-
much left by the end of all those, that and the projects.
So the 81.3, if we went with the diesel, how much would that, and again, I wanna get another quote. The 81.3 on a new truck, how much would that leave in that account roughly?
Off the top of my head,
If you went.
yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know, because I have
Okay.
to go back and look at how much was spoken for the water project. Another potential is I know we're probably gonna be getting some supplemental lit income. It's not gonna be a lot, I don't know the amount, but it might cover a fourth of that. That might help cover the general fund portion. The sewer, it's, like I said, it's pretty much gonna wipe out the depreciation fund for that, so we'll just be building back up again.
So,
Jason, did you get to talk to First National about a lease?
I did not talk to him,
We could do a lease through First National
Okay.
for $1 buyout.
Okay.
It'd be payments. Is that feasible?
so
It would depend, I mean, then we're paying interest and making payments again, and I, personally, I'd rather just pay outright.
I agree,
Yeah.
but
Well, with a lease, no more, that's the problem with this truck we have now. It should be worth 10 grand more than it is, but because of the age, it's not.
So let's break this down. Number one, council, do we want to repair the truck? Either direction that we decide to go.
You're gonna have to repair it. I mean.
That's option number one.
it's-
If somebody wants to make a motion to get said truck repaired, if we want to approve that.
It's worth 5 grand if you don't repair it, so we've got to. So I'll make the motion to repair it, because it's worth nothing if we don't.
Does anybody want to second that?
What's it worth after it's repaired? What was the quote?
I would say 10 to 15, somewhere in there.
we saw him 15 to 17 is what Brad and I were looking on different truck. It's just a kind of.
The problem is it's a 6-liter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're talking $10,000, $11,000 for the repair bill.
But
That's going off of what has been quoted.
Right.
Right.
I mean, but that's, if you don't fix it, it's a boat anchor, so. It's either, well, I mean, we gotta weigh our options here, either, I'll retract my motion. We either gotta say, send it to the scrap yard, and it's worth whatever scrap is, or we spend 10 or 15 to make 10 or 15. Hopefully, we get our money back.
Is it worth anything on a trade?
Did they give you a trade price?
I didn't even,
I mean, let's look at that option. If we fix it and trade it in and we can get 20 out of it, then it's worth the fix. If we put 15 into it and we're only gonna get 8 or 10 for it,
So here's my thing. So he's selling for 50, you said 10, 15, 17.
15, 17.
The dealer's gonna maybe give you 7,500. It just,
in running condition.
so in, like, the way it sits, so a trade price is not what we want. It's, we gotta decide if we wanna fix it and the town tries to sell it themselves.
I don't think we wanna get into trying to sell it because that can sit on the market forever.
And I agree, but I mean, a dealer's gonna give you 7,500 for it.
Running or not,
No, running.
then there's no point in using it as a trade for a $10,000 or $12,000 repair to get $7,500.
Because a 17-year-old truck, a dealer's gonna
So
want to make some money.
take our loss, move on, scrap it.
it's been well serviced.
Yeah, and if we get 20 years out of the new truck, then, you know, we're good.
Does council, okay, so I think we're unanimous that we don't want to fix the truck. as of this conversation. Knowing council that we didn't want to have to buy I'm gonna call it an $80,000 payment in this year, can we go without the truck until next year? So that we can budget appropriately for this. The truck's been in the shop for now 2 months.
And my question then would be, if we can go without it until
Why-
next year, why do we need the truck?
Why do we need the truck? Thank you, because that was my follow-up.
Well, I mean, we haul a lot of, I mean, when we do a dig, we're hauling out dirt generally and bringing in gravel, sand, whatever is needed there, so it gets used quite a bit for that. But also it's our snow plow.
It can be used to haul equipment too.
If we're- Correct, if we're pulling the backhoe or something like that, we would use that to tow it as well.
I would say
I would say it's a necessary piece. I mean, you just take the risk.
I just would say, till it broke down, I saw that truck a lot.
So then I think council is wanting to see hard quotes, different quotes.
I think this quote is about as fair as you can get, but in,
All quotes should be the
I
same.
want to, just because of the,
Government bid.
yeah, I just want to,
I mean, can we make another 30 days? Yeah, I'm okay with taking this through if you want to wait till next month to make a decision. I just kind of wasn't expecting this decision, that's why I didn't go any further than that.
Likewise. I would then, Jason, ask that we actually get formal quotes from whomever and whomever you want.
the here's my big thing.
I think you ought to table it.
Well, the problem is,
But we're not making any decisions, we're just asking Jason to get
Get more quotes.
a couple quotes, get an actual quote on some sort of letterhead.
Is that truck acceptable for you, the quote? I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
like diesel is what you're preferring, is
Yes.
that?
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I think when we do the quote, we want to do it apples to apples. This is set up for snowplow, so is the snowplow kit included? You know, the lighting kit, all these other extra expenses that we have to put on the truck after we get it.
Let's just hope that they're not listening to this meeting and know that somebody mentioned a price and,
Well,
That's
like I said, government. is-
But when we get a quote, we need a complete quote on what we want. That includes lighting, snowplow, any accessories, whatever.
I can get one, I just.
okay.
I just want to bring this we spend 15,000, and that truck is bulletproof for another 20 years.
Body nickel.
It's in great condition now.
I know it is. I don't think the body's got 5 years. Being in the salt.
That's fine. I'm just,
Let's get a couple quotes, and then, for the sake of time and conversation, we'll revisit this, in June. Is that fair?
fair.
Thanks, guys.
If we had to have something, we could always rent equipment if we needed to haul.
They can always drive a mini excavator at 2.3 mile an hour.
And we did that just last Friday, we had to have some gravel out stardust, and we made multiple trips.
Now, just an idea, would it be worth buying a dump trailer and using that for this?
Can't plow snow with it, though.
We have a snowplow, we have other trucks in the fleet. It would probably be cheaper to,
This one also held the salt and sand too, though, so it's not just balanced salt and sand.
okay, just an option.
Are the town trucks, going back to your comment earlier, sorry. Are the town trucks, are they 250s or 250s?
Yeah, they're different. We've got a 350, we've got Brad's a 250. He had a 350 before.
We need, for salt and sand, we need it 1 ton. I'll make them.
Well, actually, this is a 550, so it's,
Well,
Ton and a half?
Well, I'm talking about to salt,
Yeah.
sand, all that, we need at least a 1 ton, so.
Yeah, it's replacing a 550.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem we have.
We need more quotes. I'm just,
From different manufacturers as well.
Does color make a difference?
white's gonna be the cheapest.
Okay. And you want different manufacturers? She doesn't have to be Ford or be a Chevy, it could be
Surprise us.
As much as I hate to say it, Dodge is gonna be the cheapest.
What's wrong with looking at some 450s?
I don't think there'd be anything wrong with looking at 450s.
It's a lighter truck, but it might work. I don't know what the price difference would be.
Not much. There won't be much. It just depends on the,
Price that there, 450 versus 550?
Give us the entire kitchen. I didn't think this was gonna be that big of a deal.
You're learning.
If you don't mind, just, yes, and then we'll revisit this next month.
Okay, continue. Adam, did you have something?
My question, not my line, the new truck, is can we use some of the parts off the old truck, like the plow and all that stuff? Will they not interchange?
they won't. Ford, at least if we go with the Ford, the whole front frame is
Well, I
gonna
mean,
be.
that might be something you look at as saving some money by.
No, I'm not saying the bed won't fit. That's something we'd have to ask. But the plow frame will not fit. The bed, if you had a fabricator that was good enough, you might save some money by doing that, but the front plow frame will not fit from ours to a new one.
I think you understand what council's asking for, right? We'll revisit this. We're going to move on from the dump truck.
Welcome.
Generator service agreement, that is in your packet. Richard brought that to me. We had some generator work, not Richard Saltzman, to me a couple months, well, actually it was several months ago, and I just kind of been sitting on it. But then this kind of issue arose again here recently. We have not been under a service agreement with our generators. They've not been serviced on a regular basis for, I think, 3 years. Kelly, do you remember the years of 2020 maybe?
Yeah, it's not been since I've been here.
At some point in time, we did have a service agreement. I can't tell you whether it's a good idea to have a service agreement.
Good idea to have.
I'm sure, but it is pretty expensive. It's about $500 a month. I only got one quote for this. You know, obviously, I think this is something to wait another month if you need to make another decision. But did just want to bring that up. We do need some service work on another lift station of ours, a generator on another lift station of ours. I got that in my wish list for the sewer project, but did want to bring up the generator service agreement. When they do come out and work, if we are under their service agreement, their rates are lesser, so so you'll see that in that contract if you wanted to look through that. It's not something that has to be dealt with tonight. I could get another quote from another if you prefer.
What's the brand of the generator?
We've got Cummins and we've got, is it Generac?
Yes.
Cummins
And
and, it is Generac.
I'm gonna elaborate a little bit. I am, number one, shocked that we don't have a service agreement for something as critical as backup power for lift stations. I don't think it's anybody's fault on this council. So my opinion is yes, council, we either need to move forward with this one sooner rather than later, or if you want Jason to get a second quote, definitely gotta make a decision in June. In regards to the generator that is down that needs quote-unquote extensive work, we need to get that on the table sooner rather than later as well, because in the event that something does happen, that's back on us.
If we sign this agreement, is it year-long?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's tangible.
When they test generators, it's typically an annual test.
And we have generators at the sewer plant, the water plant, and then not every lift station, but all but 2 of the lift stations have them. And even after this project, we may have them all, if we can get additional generators put on with the project, and I think we're gonna be able to, all of our lift stations would have generators.
Is that 500 for all of them?
Yes, but they service them, it's not, they don't come out every month, but it's a quarterly, or, I think it's every,
Once or twice a year?
it's everything.
But you pay 500 bucks.
But we pay $500 is what it comes out to, or roughly $500.
For that many generators, that's not bad at all.
So my opinion is going into realistic storm season, we can't afford one of these to go down. So I'm gonna make the motion to approve, and then next year, let's get some more quotes, but we can't afford these to go down. So I'll make a motion to approve it.
I do think this is a 3-year contract that
Oh,
you
it is.
pay per year. If I'm understanding correctly from what it's saying.
Rising costs. They're gonna agree.
If they're gonna lock in for 3 years, then I'm okay.
The benefit too, I guess, is if we do work on the lift station, Doe Creek lift station, then we do get the cheaper
The
rate
discount.
for the work. The quote they gave me was $9,200, I think it was, to do the repairs. I've been holding off on that. Should it be fixed? Yeah, probably should be done tomorrow. But
I say we get a torrential storm tomorrow night and all Stardust goes down. I'll make the motion to approve it.
You need a motion to get that one repaired as soon as possible.
if that's what you want to do, I mean, that's totally up
Tie
to
that
you.
in.
I'll make a motion to approve this contract and fix the down one now.
Second.
Where do you see 3 years?
Yeah, that's like,
At the top, prepaid agreement, 3 years, like, left-hand column, description.
you go a different one.
Description, prepaid, okay, okay.
And then it has an invoice period on the right-hand column, it says year and annual amount.
3-year generator plan maintenance.
Okay, seconds on the table, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It was $9,200 for the repair.
That's for Doe Creek.
Is there? Then just from.
What's the discounted rate?
It may be less, I don't think this is a discounted rate, but I will,
I'm just curious to see what, you know.
And is the repair just because we haven't had a maintenance program or?
it's a automatic transfer switch.
Which is key for
This is an replacing ATS control, both capacitors and the switch on your generator automatic transfer switch. They did note there's a 2-week lead time on parts from the manufacturer. But this quote was for if we didn't have the contract, so that made it less than that.
there's no point in having all these generators if you're not gonna service.
Well, no, we gotta have a payout plan for sure.
Look, it wouldn't hurt if the guys went around once a month and checked all
That's
it,
right.
make sure there's no mouse nests, visible.
Well, but now we don't need it.
I know, but I'm saying monthly and
Yeah.
quarterly.
Quarterly, I agree, yeah, fire them up. All right.
Next item?
Street sign RFP or LOI, whatever you want to call it, but we did, this is on the street sign, they call it construction, but it's really the purchase of street signs and installation of our regulatory signs. We advertised this, we received 2 letters of interest, and then received 3 letters of not interested in participating. So we have 2 consultants that are interested in this project. What we need is a committee of at least 3 people to score the letters of interest. So they both sent little packets, and it's really fun stuff to go through these and score them. But there are only 2 that submitted. I just need the council to decide who those 3 committee people are to score these letters of interest, or request for proposals, whatever you call it.
So from 2 different companies, any council members interested? And we need 3 numbers.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be members, it can be Adam if you want to be on anything.
Sure, you
It can-
volunteer?
Jason's one.
I will do it if you don't want to do it.
It's just, we need to look through the proposals basically.
We did it last time, we looked
Yeah,
at the
that's-
score.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I think it was, I think maybe the 2 of you did
Yeah.
it last week, and somebody else. I think maybe the 3 of you did.
Me, us 2, and.
It's the same project, just different proposal.
Sure.
Okay. Any volunteers?
Sure.
Bryce?
Been through it once, taken the abuse.
I will have those to you tomorrow, if that's who you're going to.
Bryce Gregg and myself.
You two need to switch signs.
So you got Bryce Gregg and Brandon on that,
You
Jason?
two need to switch signs.
I've got them ready to get to you, I will get them to you. Either tonight or tomorrow.
Yep. Switch sign signature.
Okay, anything else?
Oh, actually, sorry, I guess both these things were kind of the same thing.
They're grouped together.
That is all I have, unless you guys have questions for me. Because I'm sure there are concerns.
Just make sure, obviously like we spoke, what needs to be done on Bennington Way and Beagle Club gets done before we go and close that out.
Well,
Ben- Bennington is, but we're going to use funds from Beagle Club potentially.
Yes.
Let's just make sure that we dot the i's, cross the t's.
We're real close to being done.
Monthly reports, Kelly?
Everything's in your packet. Yeah, after all this new spending, I will reevaluate. Get your numbers to you next month and see where we stand.
We haven't spent it yet. You're welcome.
Glad to get home.
All right. Ordinance 2024-5, this is a police assist forfeiture fund. I'll let, huh?
Please ask, Joseph.
That's it. I'm gonna have Kelly elaborate a little bit on what this is before we move forward.
One of our police officers assisted, I believe, the state police on a call, and they were able to collect some assets, I think some drugs, some money, get all that off the street, and the state police is wanting to share some of what they had forfeited with us in cash. So the police department is getting about $10,500. So this will establish a fund to put that money in. It's to be used for the police department with council's approval, and it will be appropriated. So we'll have to include it in the budget process to decide what we're gonna do with it. But this fund will allow us to receive it in when it's sent, and then think about how they wanna use it later.
Can, if we all agree, can we waive the second reading?
You can.
I will make a motion to approve and waive the second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And just so you know, in my 20 years, I've never seen another department share a forfeiture money, so
It's really cool.
we applaud them as well.
What was their cut?
Probably,
Speaking like an attorney.
we probably got 10%.
Better enough.
Yeah,
All right.
expected not.
Annexation?
Yeah, and I am still working on annexation. As I said last meeting, I would like to do it all in one big annexation, so we're not piecemealing it over the next while. I do need to talk to Dawn about that. We were working on an annexation possibility. So before we proceed, I'd like to have a conversation with Dawn again.
Okay. We still have an opening on the BZA board. I spoke to a member tonight. If anybody is interested, or you know of anybody that would be willing to serve on this board and do good for the town, please reach out to Kelly or myself or Jason. We'll be happy to talk to you. Brings us to 54 North Lafayette and the tree removal.
I know that I spoke with Mr. Fiddler's son about that, and that's on the agenda to do the removal on the trees on 54. I stopped by the doctor's office yesterday to coordinate that with them, so they're not parking under this tree once we decide it's gonna come down, so.
Council Jason's also reached out to the hospital. I don't know if he's heard a response yet, but there's a little sliver, a parcel that they own on this property, right? They've got a little portion, and then the rest is now ours, that we're going to ask if they'd be willing to deed. It'd be a perfect spot for a roll-off. The little portion that they own, so the one that's, we need to relocate here. Good. All right. New business, Merle easement.
My only question I have about that is, do we have final say in said mural?
I can comment. The answer is no. As far as what the artist wants to put,
Yeah. Might not be a horrible idea to include that.
so I'm not gonna disagree with that statement. At the same time, this foundation would have to really second guess herself knowing what it's going on and where it's located. If it's the water building off the Cemetery Road that is adjacent right next to Clovis Elementary School. I've had a lengthy conversation with Jason about it. We're in the beginning steps of this, and I think I even spoke to Bryce. We have no say-so. It's literally in the process of picking the artist. That's where if we wanna move forward, that's us signing this.
So you're giving them the ability to do a mural on your wall.
Mhm.
Of their choice.
Of their choice. We have no say-so on what they
You
put
do,
up on the wall.
you do, because you own the wall.
Then it could not happen.
It's the same thing as what they did in Greencastle. Once you turn it over, it's theirs to do whatever they want. Now, I would darn sure hope that they would know, hey, there's an elementary school right across the road, and we're not gonna put some
There are parameters.
liberal BS on it, but
Can't be like political driven.
Where does it say that?
When they are,
True attorney.
well, I don't know. But I know that they've got those criteria though.
there's something in, the ones they did in Greencastle, just because I saw it on the CDB, there's something in it that says it can't be political, it can't be racially motivated, like all that kind of stuff. It's in the framework, but when he called, just because I had to deal with it on CDB, there is all that in the framework.
Okay, I'm just telling you, you're letting somebody put something on your wall, and if it's not.
If you don't like it, you're stuck with it.
Exactly.
No, you're not.
You're not stuck with it, there is white paint available in the local code.
Knowing the foundation, I don't think they're going to steer us in the wrong direction.
Okay, I was just,
They've done work all over the county, everything they've done it looks good.
Well,
I
the
was
good news
just
is
voicing
this.
my concerns.
The good news is if they do something wrong, Jason's guys are gonna be there with white paint, and then it's your job.
Okay.
But we obviously don't need that building anyway, so we could tear it down if we needed to.
Or just put a fence up in front of it.
So, does council want to move forward with giving them permission to select their artist?
Knowing what they've done in the county so far, I will make a motion.
Maybe get the building paint. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. EAS service agreement renewal? Kelly, this I believe was for the work.
This is our IT, EAS does our IT for us, and this is just our annual service renewal contract.
How much did it go up?
It was 13.9, it was right at 14,000 last year, and now it's up to 15.6.
This is a 1 year again.
Have we got any other quotes? Just asking.
I have not, this company is, they
We've
installed the
used them
server,
for the police.
and they're,
They kind
They
of
know
made
it's
it
a-
pretty good to be
Yes.
controlled, but they're not the only.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
There-
they've
there are
taken,
others.
they've taken care of us over the.
Yeah.
and, IT prices are,
Well, ours went up significantly here. So like, they've done it for quite a while. and you
Yeah,
guys
they've
think it's
been real good. We did a lot of
About 5
research.
years.
Right. Motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, is it Meraki? Okay. License renewal. This one's for, what, 218311?
yes, this is a 3-year renewal, this is for the license for the Meraki, which is, I think it's for the server for sure, and I think it's some of the protection software for the server.
Really cheap.
Was there a motion?
Motion.
All right, thanks. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Council, do you have, anything? Yes, that was the closeout of
Yep,
Bennington.
gotcha.
If not, citizens comment? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. This might be
Bless you.
directed
Perfect timing.
to Jason. I'd like to know about the status of 219 Lazy River Road. I think it's considered Lazy River Road. My understanding is that Jason was given the power and the authority by Lisa of the county to condemn the house. And it looks like somebody's building, maybe adding to it. So I wanted to know what's the status.
You said 219?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like an orange and very square house.
Lazy River?
That's my understanding. It's on the corner. Kind of kitty corner from Kenny Gerlach's.
Good. I have no idea who that is, so let's go off the address of 219 Lazy River Road.
I don't know the cross street, my apologies. I walk by it quite frequently and it's fallacious. And I understand she gave you permission to demolish it, condemn it. Lisa?
I've not had that conversation with her. I don't know that,
I thought she sent you multiple emails in that regard.
I've never received any kind of email with anything like that.
Okay.
Do you have emails stating otherwise?
She's had conversations with people, so I'll follow up with her.
Please. And if you'd like, I'd give you my email address as well. I can be looped into that.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, this meeting is adjourned.
Good job, Brandon. The dump truck was coming to the worst part of the meeting.
That was the hang up. Council, don't forget, we have to sign,
No, we still got to This meeting's adjourned, we're out of here.
you'll have to put up with Larry on the way out. He's not gonna let you out of here, so.
The funny part is when I saw Mason, she said, this is her Big money, say, I don't miss all you she won. He said, I did like you. She got there to go.
Yeah, I might do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry.